Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm in like the best mood. Oh my goodness, the best mood. And I think it's a prime example of everything that I talked about yesterday. But I'm so excited to be here. We are on day 3 inside of Power Portal. This is a very different experience. Typically, I love to do a maybe 3 day, sometimes 5 day masterclass every single month. This is not anything brand spanking new. I have this community that's open right now. This is like a pop-up community. There's also another community called The More that I co-host with my cousin, Coach Katie Elliott, and we drop free masterclasses in there all the time. But this is like an average, normal thing that I like to do, is create these free masterclasses for a couple different reasons. One is, as someone who is a visibility architect for women and has tons of content out there, generating results for other women, helping women to really ace the visibility game online, from the way that they look on camera, look in person, their physical branding, launches, and for a handful of people in my life, a couple, probably a good 100 people, I've helped them with their brands. After our own company did over $1 million in organic sales on social media, I had some interest in people asking, like, so how do you do that? Like, how exactly does that come to pass? And so my cousin Katie and I have an entire curriculum called the Trove, where we walk people who have online sales and businesses that they're doing on social media. We walk them through like how to brand. Hey, Michelle. Hey, girl. Copywriting, which is one of my fortes. Like, I'm obsessed with copywriting. So I teach people how to write sales copy. We teach people, obviously, how to look on camera, how to set up their lighting, how to set up their backgrounds. If they have a class that they want to teach, we help them to get what's, marinating and stewing in their brain and take their amazing skills and turn them into courses online. The tech stuff, like how to set up and monitor and put your stuff in a Facebook group, like what you guys are in right now. And all kinds of mindset stuff and strategy along the way. So yeah, we do that as part of my consulting. So you'll hear me talk about the fact that I am a social media consultant. That's that piece. I teach people everything that it took me to basically build the first section of our brand, which was like 6 figures, and how that has compounded over time to become now close to a multi-million-dollar brand, which is really freaking exciting. So that's one thing that I do. It's called the Trove. And if you're interested in it, just message the word Trove or write the word Trove. The other thing that I do is obviously Elite Turbo Glam and Confidence on Command. And there is a nice big handful of people in my life. I think we counted the other day, like 800 something people who have gone through trainings like that with me. And that's a vibe. And also I know that there are some people that their circumstances currently dictate that they do not have capacity to work with me one-on-one. And I fully understand that. And also, I want to create killer content to uplift, encourage, inspire, expand the mindset of women who are like that just don't have the opportunity or the circumstance currently to work with me one-to-one or in a container like Elite Turbo Glam. So this is the vibe of why I go live and I do, these free trainings, is just to provide a space for women to come to and get the experience. We talked about some really interesting woo things yesterday. Day 1, we talked about frequency, energetics, emotions, and how beauty plays a role in that, and really having a more high vibe lifestyle. And that's the whole thing. I want women to come here, feel safe to share with their friends, feel safe to know that they're not just gonna come into my containers and get fully sales pitched the whole time. That's not the vibe at all. I want women to feel like they come here, they get a different perspective, they get a different way to think, and just walk away having had a really good afternoon with us. So today is day 3. This is my last masterclass before I have my baby. How exciting is that? So fun. So happy. So excited to be here. Originally, this was booked for 3 o'clock, and I will just say I was in appointments. That's all I will say for the moment. Amy said, hey, my daughter dropped by. She changed jobs and needed to raid my closet. Oh, congratulations on her new job. That's dope. That's dope. So let's see. Oh, I can't post a comment from here. If anyone is available, can you guys tag Jessie from my team, Jessie Ferguson, and just let her know that I'm live. Because I didn't let her know first. That would be so sweet of you if you know Jessie. And if you've worked with Jessie like one-to-one, or you've ever messaged with her, just tell her how great she is, because she's freaking phenomenal. But yeah, we live. So we are going to continue the conversation that kind of started playing yesterday, which was around the beauty reframe, and really go to town on that. So yesterday we talked about how beauty is actually presented to the market, like the consumer market. And I must say, a lot of women and even men have blocks around beauty, like a physical, literal, mental block around makeup, beauty, the emotional components of it, beautiful people, beautiful women. People have a lot of wounds going on around that whole topic. And so I want to bust through a lot of that today. So I have some notes here. If I'm not looking at you, just know that I got notes. We're going to bring them live. So yesterday we talked about how, like, women and men, they have a lot of baggage and biases, even around the very word beauty. And I would invite you to share any of yours. When the topic of cosmetics or beauty come up for you, like, what happens for you? Hey, Christina, good to see you, baby. Do you have any baggage around beautiful women or high maintenance women? Beautiful people, the quote unquote standard of beauty in whatever country you're in. Like, do you have any hesitations around having a beauty ritual? Do you have any hesitations around spending money on makeup or beauty things? I'm just full blown going to tell you what I was doing today. So today is what I call Queen's Day, and this is part of this whole opening of an energetic portal of lifestyle and luxury. So one day a week, I do like jack squat. I don't do anything that I don't want to do. Okay. So Thursdays are typically my Queen's Day. Got up this morning, went for a hike, went to the chiropractor, came home, took like an hour and a half long nap, and I had a waxing appointment because I cannot see over my belly. My belly's like a basketball right now with this baby about to fall out of me. It literally feels like she's going to fall out. Like, I went on this hike this morning and it legitimately felt like she was going to fall out. I'm like, she's so low. Yeah, so can't really see to shave. Have already had laser in my life, but can't really see to shave. And so I had scheduled to have like my legs and my Brazilian, like body wax, like underarms, everything or whatever. And my appointment was, I think, at like 1:30. And I was with my body waxer just cracking up, laughing. Like, she's so dope. Like, she's so fun. She's so dope. So me and my body waxer are talking about ridiculous stories of celebrities that I've styled in California. And I was laughing so hard. We were having the best appointment. And I looked at my phone and I was like, oh, dang, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. And I'm supposed to go live at 3. Like, yesterday, I talked about this whole revolution that I'm having right now around the understanding that on a frequency level and on an emotional level, I have had a habit in my lifetime of sacrificing for other people. Anyone else? Raise hands in comments. I think it's a trend. I think it's martyrdom. So many women sacrifice themselves on the altar of what's going to make everybody else happy. And on my Queen's Day, when I'm in my waxing appointment, like literally adorning my body, going like this glow that I have on my shoulders. I want my whole face, or I want my whole body to look like that. Like, I don't want to see a hair. I want to be like, everything is smooth. My whole legs, my coochie, all the things, having a baby. And so, yeah, I'm in my waxing appointment going like, you know what? I could get out of the moment of cracking up laughing over the most ridiculous stuff with my body waxer, having such a good appointment. I could jump in my Land Rover, speed to my house, like quick, do hair, makeup fast, and be camera ready by 3:00. And I'm like, not available for it. In the grand scheme of life, I'm going to ask you, where is this happening in your life? In the grand scheme of things, for my last masterclass, complimentary masterclass, before I have a baby, in the grand scheme of things, what does it really matter whether I go live at 3 or 3:45? I'm going to tell you what matters here. It's not about being right. It's not about looking good to other people. It is down to the frequency of the emotion and the intent behind it. In that moment, I had a split-second decision. You guys, we have these all the time. I had a split-second decision. Do I want to sign up and be available for being stressed out? Jumping in my car, speeding back to my house, like Marco Poloing my assistant, getting here, stressing my husband out. Oh my God, I love that. If you run late, I can catch you. That's awesome. I'm so glad I did. I could sign up for stress in that moment. I could sign up for jumping into the low frequency, which is, what if people perceive me as not enough? What if I let somebody down? What if people think that I'm bad in business and judge me? This is all a low frequency called competition. This is competitive. This is so appropriate that this happened today for me. And that I made the empowered decision of like, you know what? I literally picked up my phone as I'm like getting hairs ripped out of my leg. And I said, listen, I'm like, Jesse, can you just go put a note inside of the group and tag everyone and say that I'll be live around 3:45? Because I'm just not available at this point in my day, my life, my existence, or my pregnancy to like run home, like rush, hustle, not have a second for my baby, not have like the moment. I walked into the house and got to like, see my kids, snuggle her, talk to Rebecca, talk to my husband, went and sat in his lap for a couple minutes and talked, like went and sat at my makeup vanity, which is such a high frequency, high vibe luxury space for me personally. Like those of you who are inside of Elite Turbo Glam, I did like a tour of my makeup vanity the other day. Hi, Sharana. Oh my God, good to see you. Michelle, you're totally right. Always divine timing in everything. So my makeup vanity is like this table that's set up and it's got, like the bulbs all the way around it, like the old Hollywood mirrors. And it's like a digital thing. And like all my skincare is set out and I have like a whole drawer of lippies and like, it's just a vibe to be there. And I went and sat there and I turned on music like so loud. Like so loud. just sat there listening to some of my favorite music, like got ready, wore a fun ponytail. Like I never wear ponytails. I was like, I feel the vibe of ponytails and earrings today. Just having so much fun. And these are the two options. All of us get this option legit every morning. Are we going to give ourselves the gift of sitting ourselves or standing ourselves in a creative luxury environment, opening the portal to power, a gateway? The definition of a portal is a gateway or an entrance. So legitimately, picture your soul going through a power portal in this time. Why do we sometimes pick to sacrifice our own happiness and our own vibrational currency, like our own frequency, our own happiness, to go impress someone else, sacrifice for someone else? This is the mega shift that I have been having ever since I had that cacao ceremony moment that I was very vulnerably shared yesterday. You see, and think of how I would have showed up on camera today. Like, can I put the makeup on fast? Like this, legitimately, this is a 10-minute makeup look that I teach inside of Elite Turbo Glam. Like once you learn it, all this entire look is essentials bundle, contour palette, lashes, and a lip gloss. Like it's a 10-minute makeup look. I could have hustled and got this done, stressed out, got here at 3:00. But what I have gotten on here, like laughing, I wouldn't have given myself the space to go through the power portal. I literally came on camera. I walked in this room laughing about stuff. My husband was like, what are you cracking up about? I'm like, I just went to go like run a toothbrush across my teeth, and my toothbrush was stiff because my child, she's 20 months old. She opens the bathroom drawer and pulls out random toothbrushes and sucks on them and sticks them back in the drawer. So like 4 seconds before I came live, I went to brush my teeth with a literal stiff toothbrush because it was like dried saliva. I was cracking up. I was like, that was disgusting. I can't believe it just happened. Awesome. Gross. So for you guys, okay, so it starts with me. It's this cascade effect. It is literally the power cascade. Lori's face is like, ugh! In the comments, I know. This is my life right now with the 20-month-old. She sucks on toothbrushes. I'm like, okay, she's learning how to brush her teeth. Like I was talking about, I think on day one, about the sexy toothbrush. Like she's obsessed with brushing her teeth right now. So she uses mine sometimes when I'm not watching. It's great. Anyways, this cascade of power, it starts with, in my opinion, a very important decision that is the portal to power. It is the decision of how do I intentionally want to live my life? Do I want to do this rushed? Do I want to perform for other people? Do I want to look good in other people's eyes and maybe not feel so great while doing it? And hope that someday, some way, I will be karmically paid back or something. Am I gonna live for someday? Am I gonna live for other people's approval and a maybe someday reward? Or am I gonna pick for myself? I'm not gonna wait for someone else to reward me. I'm not gonna wait for someone else to celebrate me. I'm not going to wait for someone else to give me permission. And I'm going to tap into the highest possible frequency today that I can. And I'm going to give myself that self-fulfillment and carry it with me all day long for me first, and then know that I'm affecting hundreds of people. They say one person operating at the frequency of 500 can affect up to 700 other people. If you are in business, or if you have a social media presence, or you are out there with people somewhere in the community, do you understand the power that's available to you? One choice of me first. Let me get my own vibes right. Affects up to 700 other people just by getting to the frequency of beauty. Can you imagine that? People used to always say to me, like, girl, when you walk into a room, it's like everybody's head like spins and looks at you. And I'm like, now I understand why. I accidentally was opening the portal to power for years just by having like a quote unquote beauty routine. But now that I understand what I'm really doing, it is next level. Like, how many of you here are in business? Like, can you out yourself right now in the comments and say, like, in business? Because this may or may not land with someone who's not in business, but I want you to understand this whole concept right now. The power that someone has when they know the portal opening is different than accidentally opening it. So for me, for like years, I had a beauty routine. It started very luxury when I was a kid because I've always been an artist and I've always wanted, like luxury items and stuff when I was a little kid. I grew up that way. And then I had like about a 7-year stint of like being on a debt diet and like launching businesses and a lot of weird money mindset programming around what I was worthy of when I was in debt. That was a beauty block for me. It was a block to beauty. It was a block to luxury for me because someone was telling me that as long as I had debt, which debt is nothing but a choice to make payments on something instead of paying it all up front. It doesn't mean shit about you. Like, it's just a choice to make payments on something. But someone had really influenced my identity to believe that if I had debt, it meant that I was like a subpar individual and that I didn't deserve anything extra until the debt was gone. So imagine me as someone who it was my first year in business. I think I only made $26,000 my first year in business. It was remarkable. Trust me. I slept on the floor in California. It was crazy. Me and my husband started our company, our cosmetics brand. We started it from a free kitchen table off of Craigslist. Like, we legitimately had like nothing when we lived in Los Angeles at the beginning. And we went $60,000 into debt our first year, like launching our cosmetic brand, because it takes money to like do this stuff, Can you imagine having someone speak like around finances, which money mindset is so important for women? This person was speaking around finances for me and indicating that as long as I had debt, that it was like this huge problem, and that, potentially like I should not dare like treat myself well. It was this encouragement to eat the cheapest food. It was a program to like only spend $20 per person in your household per week on groceries. I'm like, what the hell can you eat for $20 a week? Like beans and rice and oatmeal? Like, do you want to be carb loading for life? I got up to 200 pounds during that season between the stress and, the minimalist lifestyle. Like, I'm not even 200 pounds right now at 9 months pregnant. Like, this baby is ready to fall out of my vagina, legitimately. And I'm still not that way. So I got all the way up to 200 pounds, like living this high stress lifestyle of like proving myself in business, proving myself with results, like living super bare bones financially, like really, really, really my self-worth plummeted because I was like, well, I have debt, so I'm like a freaking loser. And so I shouldn't get nails and I shouldn't get spray tans. And this is so messed up. I had already worked as a celebrity makeup artist for literally 5 years and I switched. It's true, Lori, carb load for life. Like I switched fully knowing what I was doing after like I had been in the skincare high-end spa industry for years. I fully switched in that season to using off-brand, like Walmart brand Dial antibacterial body wash to wash my face. I damaged my skin so bad for like 3 years. And a drugstore moisturizer for acne, clean and clear. For 3 years, I was extreme like that because someone was influencing my decisions. And really, I had this belief that if I had debt, I wasn't worthy of having nice things. This is the reframe. I told you guys that we were going to do a reframe around beauty. This is what I want to say to you. There are people who you are watching in business who have remarkable, unexplainable, seemingly success, making way more than what you can even imagine. And you look at their skill level and you're like, how the hell are they getting paid for this? And I'm going to tell you a big secret. They know the portal to power that they're opening with luxury in their life. For years during that time frame, I unintentionally was opening the power portal because I knew on the lower the lower frequency of the scales of energy, I knew that the masculine paradigm, like the low frequency on the scale, they have to flipping rationalize everything. They have to have an explanation for why everything works. And so social scientists studied the appearance of men and women. They sure did. They did social experiments, and this is what I was fully bought into. And I marketed this to my clients for years because I was like, oh my God, I know the secret. And this was like the baseline of the secret. But social scientists did these studies. Melissa, I love you. Melissa's one of my private clients, and she's coming to my baby shower on Sunday. So social scientists began to study this phenomenon. And what they would do is they would take a man and take a woman, and they would make them look like really kind of like raggedy and like, just not great, and send them into, say, like a coffee shop or like a Starbucks or whatever. And they would have the person walk up to the counter. And, they're like wearing the video camera, And they would order their drink and their little sandwich or whatever they were going to get that day, the little pastry. And hair not done, really, makeup not really. They're like dressed down, chill mode. And they would have the person fake like they forgot their wallet, like looking a little raggedy, And they would gauge the response of the person who was working as the cashier. And this was a full-blown social experiment. Like, social scientists were studying people's response to aesthetics. Because, of course, the masculine brain has to rationalize everything. And what they found was when the person was not like dressed up or looking like polished or professional, or like they were inside of a certain income bracket or job description, the person behind the counter would be like, okay, well, sorry about your luck, but you can't have your sandwich or your drink. Like hashtag bye, girl. Thanks for wasting our time and this cup of coffee right here. That's now going to probably get drank by our staff or thrown in the trash can. But if you don't have no money, like, girl, bye. Boy, bye. They took the exact same person, put them in a different level of dress that was more indicative of a higher paying job position, cleaner, neater, nicer, more on trend. For a man, they would have the man's hair groomed well, facial, hair groomed well, probably a little moisturizer or eye cream on homeboy. For the woman, they would put, makeup and jewelry on the woman so that they looked the part of more like a business person or someone of like, I don't know, of certain financial status. And they would send them back into the store on a different day. Same thing, ordered the same items. And they would say, oh my God, I forgot my wallet. And the person behind the counter would be like, hey, no big deal. I mean, you can pay for it next time if you want. Or they would be like, just bring it back next time. No big deal. We got you. And they would give the person the items for free. This is that weird thing that I was talking about in previous days, where it's like rich people receive more gifts. And you would think, like, with the humanitarian brain, that you would be more inclined to give things to someone who is like looking like they need it. And some of us are wired that way. Like, I'm definitely wired that way. I see people struggling and I want to help. But there's this whole phenomenon. And of course, the masculine, the rational, the knowledge base, the gotta understand it, they literally studied this and they came to this conclusion basically that, like, the nicer you look, the more stuff people give to you. They did a series of experiments like this where they would have someone pretend that, like on the side of the road or like in on a sidewalk or whatever in a busy street. And they would say, oh my gosh, like, I lost my phone. I have to call my wife. Can I use your phone? And the person who was like looking like a little bit raggedy or whatever, people would be like, they would literally bypass. They would like walk and like keep their eyes going straight and pretend that person never said anything. It was like the kiosk people at the mall who are trying to sell you Dead Sea salts. Like, you just do not look like, the guys with the hair wand. Madam, miss. And you're just like, do not look. Just keep looking. And that was the vibe during this experiment. But people who looked more polished, more professional, looked like they were presenting the look of like being more professional or even in like a higher income. Yeah, exactly. Do not engage. Like a higher income bracket. Those people they could like command someone to give them their cell phone. They'd be like, oh my gosh, I have a flat tire. I have to call my wife. Like, can I use your phone? And people would legitimately just like hand them their cell phone. I don't know about you, but like my cell phone is like a sacred item. Do you know how my life would be like a little upside down if someone stole my phone? All I'm going to say is nudes. Nudes. That's all I'm going to say. Like my whole entire privacy of the texts that I send to people, the personal conversations, like the client conversations that are stored in Marco Polo, like the interactions that I have with like my team, my clients, my husband, the pictures in my camera roll, like wholly personal. And random strangers would just hand somebody on the street their phone because they were like, oh my gosh, I have a flat tire. I have to call my husband. Can I please use your phone? And they would just, yeah, sure. A portal to power. Magnetism. People having less of a wall up around you. Getting faster yeses. Now, there's always going to be some shadow around anything like this. Actually, one of my friends, and she was a client inside the Trove as well. She is a Trove graduate, but I talked about the Trove at the very beginning. It's my cousin Katie and I. We have a basically like a whole entire vault, a library where we show people how we went from zero to six figures inside of a year in different businesses. So it's like social media training, etc., mindset training, all these different things. And it's, the art of emotionally intelligent online sales, like how to be profitable in a brand. So the Trove. One of our graduates from the Trove watched my video yesterday, and she was like, "Did you know that there's people who use glamour magic?" And I was like, "Glamour magic? What the hell is that?" Like, I had not heard of that. I was like, "Wow, no, what is that?" She was like, "No one else in the industry is talking about this the way that you're talking about it." And I was like, "I've never heard of it." So this morning I went on YouTube and I just Googled like the words like glamour magic. I was like, "What is that?" And like the videos were kind of shitty, but like what I could find about it. But what they were saying is basically like there's an entire practice that people are so aware that if you're intentional with this, it literally pulls money in for you. Like people are faster to say yes. They're faster to agree with you. Like we'll hand you their phone. We'll hand you the Starbucks for free. We'll give you your stuff for free. It's like, on the masculine level, yes, they had to like study it. They had to make a nascent science out of the social science of how people look, right? Like the science of attraction. That is a full blown documentary, The Science of Attraction. Of course, the male brain has to explain it. And the female energetics are like, oh no, it's full blown magic. And what I want to say to you is there are people who have uncommon results in business and uncommon results in their life. And on a frequency level, they know what the hell they're doing. They intentionally engage in luxury because, contrary to someone who is obsessed with the budget and obsessed with the facts and the figures on paper and what they can explain, those who indulge in luxury, self-adornment, luxury experiences, intentionally engaging in high frequency things every day, they become a magnet for cash. They become a magnet for clients. They become a magnet for relationship. They're funnier on camera. They're more pleasant to be around. Walking away from this training, you can never forget this. And for some people who have a block around beauty things, it would be convenient or it would be convenient to forget it. And some people will hear this and they will go straight to like the shadow part of it, the dark side of it, and say, like, well, that's just manipulation. And I want to say, if that's how you think about beauty, that beauty is just a manipulation, you are operating at a very low frequency of emotion, my friend. You are currently in the space of judgment, self-righteousness, competition, blaming, and probably manipulation yourself. Because if you can really go that far to say like something that is beautiful is a manipulation, you are really in a low frequency. And I'm going to tell you, like, check that, because it's repulsive to money. It's repulsive to power. You will have to work 10 times as hard to get the desired results in your life if you carry this attitude. Interesting, hey? Melissa said, you have unclogged my block. Do you know of someone who has really uncommon results in business and you're like, how the heck are they doing that? I do personally. My mentor has such uncommon results in business. And the more that I study energetics and I look at the way that she engages her life, I'm like, she literally taps into luxury every day. And that was an expander. My word of the year this year is expansion. My expansion personally was to give myself permission to indulge in luxury, artistry, high frequency, high vibrational experiences that make me happy first. No more of this self-sacrifice stuff. No more being a martyr for other people's happiness. No more being a martyr to impress other people. If I'm not in a good space mentally to do something, like, I'm going to admit that to myself and be like, I don't really enjoy this at all. Is there a different option? Can I raise my frequency today? Can I not do it? Can I get myself in a better headspace? Like, give yourself, if you're interested in truly tapping into power versus force. Force is the masculine of like forcing things to happen, struggling in your business, struggling in your relationship, struggling with your family, struggling with your money, like, that's forcing things. Like, how many of us are like professional forcers, or at least in a past life, professional forcer, to the point where I would drink a pot of espresso a day to force myself into showing up and doing things for people. That made me fucking miserable. I'm like, no more of that. And interestingly, this year I gave myself permission to indulge. I really went full-blown permission around indulging myself with artistry and beauty, probably about, like, I would say December last year, which incidentally was a 6-figure month in our brand. There was a 30-day cycle where our brand made $120,000 inside of 30 days. Like, do you know the level of, like, people wish that they can make 6 figures in a year, and that's the goal. They're like, oh my gosh, if I could just make 6 figures in a year. Like, girl, $120,000 in a 30-day cycle, not a year. And it just so happened that right before that, I gave myself a luxury photo shoot. To date, the most expensive photo shoot I had ever been a part of, shaking champagne bottles on the beach, getting into like such a high vibrational frequency, cracking up laughing with my mom, my Aunt Kathy, my cousin Katie, really embracing my sensuality. I'm gonna go a little TMI here. So me and my cousin decided to do this photo shoot on the beach, right? But we did it in Michigan, and it was like October. Cold as hell. We got there, and like, we didn't have a wardrobe stylist because hashtag like we weren't playing on that level of that day. Plus, we like how we dress. Oh my gosh, that's so funny, Lori. Does your husband call it that? That's so funny. So we get to the beach, and first we did a photo shoot with our kids. It was so fun. And we had all these wardrobe changes, and I was like, what do we do with our wardrobe? Like, we don't have like a hanging rack. Plus, you can't really like push a hanging rack through the sand. So we hung our clothes up on tree branches on like this tree that was back a little bit far. And the old me, like, we were talking about this around sensuality and like sexuality and beauty today, even in my home. We were talking about like me and Rebecca. Rebecca works with our team, and sometimes she watches Sloan, which is so helpful. Like on my Queen's Day, she's been watching Sloan. So I was changing Sloan's diaper, and I was like wiping her, and I was like, Sloan, say vagina. And she's like, vagina. I was like, say butt. She's like, butt crack. She's like 20 months old. And Rebecca was cracking up, and she was just like, I just love it that like she's not going to feel weird to say her body parts. And I'm like, I know, girl. Up until I was like age 33, I couldn't even eke out the word vagina. Like, it was like a foreign language to me. I couldn't even say my own body parts. It felt weird to describe my body. So I have been on this journey of tapping into luxury, sensuality, like my full body experiences in life, saying yes to myself around a lot of different things. And so we're out on this beach. We hung our clothes on the tree. Like, our clothes hangers were on the tree. We had suitcases like that we dragged across the sand. And during our wardrobe changes, there was literally other people on the beach, and we literally, I was down to like a thong, like a Spanx thong on the beach changing clothes with like random people walking by, and I was just like, okay, I'm having fun. We cracked champagne, got a little buzz, did our photo shoot. I was out there doing yoga on the water. Like, my old religious self, like, people would be like, don't do yoga. It will open you up to spirits. I'm like, bitch, I'm stretching. What are you talking about? I'm stretching. Okay. Listen, I say yes to my desires. I said yes to luxury. I said yes to being in the moment, opening up the portal to power. We woke up that day, we did our full beauty rituals, high vibe outfits, high vibe photographer, high vibe champagne, went to the beach, had the shoot, laughing, having so much fun. Saying yes to beauty, saying yes to, I'm not just going to be the person who styles other people and serves other people and slaves for other people. I'm no longer content to be the one behind the camera styling others. I am content to be the person on the camera, being captured that day as a walking, living, breathing piece of art. Sealing that moment in time forever. And how interesting that within 2 months of that, we had a $60,000 month the next month and a $120,000 month the following month. I pulled numbers since I got pregnant, because I got pregnant right after that shoot. Another beautiful abundance. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so happy to be pregnant. It's such a gift. Another piece of abundance. How interesting that I pulled the numbers and we're like, it's possible that we could hit $500,000 during the month that our baby is born, like $500,000 created during a pregnancy. Like, who makes $500,000 while they're pregnant? This is the time when society and people with limiting beliefs tell women, like, oh, things are really going to change for you. It's going to be harder to make cash. You're going to be really sick and tired. You should probably settle down. You might want to think about doing something else now. And I'm like, no, expansion to the moon and back, portal to power open, high frequency. We are magnets out here. I choose to raise my frequency every day, say yes to luxury, say yes to beauty, say yes to adorning myself and being a walking piece of art. I say yes to that because I know the power that it has for me. I don't work 10 times as hard. I work 1/10 what I used to easily and have more wealth, more of a dreamy life than I've ever had before. Ooh, that's cool, Amy. Impressionism era. I'll definitely look into that. This is what I want women to understand about beauty, because there's all these blocks around it where some people think it's a manipulation and other people are doing it out of proving energy. They're looking good and behaving a certain way and showing up for people for approval. And I'm like, can we please reframe the whole entire conversation? Because in my opinion, a beauty ritual, like 10 minutes. This is a 10-minute beauty ritual. I teach it in Elite Turbo Glam. Like, a beauty ritual and the feeling that you garner during it are a legitimate open portal to power. It is not just cosmetics. This is a portal, an open door, a gateway that, in my experience, has created a vortex. It's like a funnel of everything that is higher than power on the energetic scale of emotion, including more happiness. Can you tell I'm happy today? More happiness, more gratitude, more appreciation, more blessings, more connection, more divinity, more wealth, less forcing, less competition, less upset feelings. Your split-second decisions every day to say yes to beauty, luxury, and adorning your body, becoming the centerpiece, the walking, living piece of art in your life. Letting it be your experience of why you're doing it first, and then watching the portal open, the literal doorway of energetics open for you, and a vortex of more wealth, more love, more appreciation, more divinity coming towards you. Real power, not force. If women only understood what's accessible and they could just take that old programming about beauty and just slide it that way and understand that they're literally like participating in a miracle when they say yes to themselves. This is the framework for how I, from here forward, want women to experience beauty. I want them to understand that a lot of people who have dramatic results in life and business, they understand this. It may be on an innate level, it may be on a very conscious level of knowing energetics and being like, yeah, okay, when I experience luxury, it puts me in a better frequency and more comes my way. There's people who make this a practice. I am one. And I advocate for every one of my clients to do this for themselves. Like, one of the first things that we do is I put them through Iconic, which is my personal training on emotions and energy work and relationships, boundaries, standards, all the things. So I have a program called Iconic. And one of the first things that I do is I put anyone who's building business through Iconic. And it's a whole experience. It's a month-long training that teaches you to give yourself permission in a world that is telling women, like, sit down and behave. Self-sacrifice, you sweet little martyr. And someday your good karma will come back to you. What if you never know how to receive it? What if saying yes to yourself is not even in your vocabulary anymore and you don't even know how to receive it? This is the first thing that I take my business clients through when they're building a brand. I'm like, you have to learn how to receive, how to say yes to luxury, because it is opening a portal. Now, for me, cosmetics and beauty rituals are an irreplaceable piece of the luxury life. And I also can appreciate that there are people who want to know, like, the full glam looks. They want to know how to look like the cover of a magazine, the star of a movie. They want to know how to turn it on. It's like a light switch that people do. They can turn it on when they're going to walk into a room and they don't feel super secure yet, or they're going to go on camera, or, they have to give a presentation. They want to know how to turn it on. And in my experience of styling celebrities, like, it's an effortless, duh moment. Like, of course, the beauty ritual is part of the turn it on. And there's other pieces, like your awareness of energetics, that helps you turn it on. But I'm like, well, shit, you have to know how to turn it on. So there's people who want to learn, like, the whole full glam rituals. And then there's people who, they don't want to be full glam. They want to know how to do, like, something that's more simpler, like this, like a 10-minute makeup look. They still want to see their freckles. They still want to be able to see their skin. They want their skin to be the star of the show, but they wouldn't mind knowing how to do, like, a smoky eye and lashes, or like some highlight and contour. They want to know how to step effortlessly into a luxury experience around beauty. And there's so many levels to what that looks like for different women. It doesn't always have to be full-blown, full glam. I came into this practical awareness last night. We went out on a date. My husband and I were celebrating the graduation and the completion of our clients inside of the Magic. That's my cousin Katie and I. We have a mastermind that we run, and we've done it. We typically do it like quarterly, but we've done it already twice this year, and all of our clients graduated, and it's been so amazing. And I've just been reveling it all week. And I asked, let's go out for dinner last night. So I was like looking cute because I was here with you guys yesterday, and we went out to dinner, and I was like looking at my phone to do like a video chat with one of my private clients. And I was like, looked at my husband. I was like, Brad, I just realized that, like, with this new baby coming, I'm not going to have like a whole hour to like sit and play at my makeup station. Like I'm gonna probably go back to doing like this, like the 10-minute makeup routine, which still puts me in a high frequency, but on a practical level, the point that I'm wanting to make and what I want to say to you is I realize not everyone wants to take an hour to go through a beauty ritual, but 10 minutes will do. And 10 minutes does this. Like this is literally essentials bundle, contour palette, and lashes, and a clear gloss. Like 10 minutes put me into this high frequency. Do you see what I'm saying? There's levels. I can't tell who it is, but someone just said that's what I love about Elite Turbo Glam. I've been able to learn things from you that work with my style. Who said that? I can only see Facebook user because I'm streaming right now. So it doesn't say your name. Who was that? What I want to say to you is, in my world, the beauty game, because it puts me in such a space, knowing that I am a walking piece of art, and that me being creative, imaginative, and tapping into beauty on the energetic scale of emotions, like I know what that does to me personally. It gets me out of a funk so fast. Oh, it's Adrian. Hey, babe. Good to see you. You are rocking it, by the way. I'm loving your makeup. And you've been live in your stories so much. I'm just like, I saw you do a reel on Instagram. I was like, yes. There's so many levels to what we can do with beauty rituals. They don't have to take long, but they are so powerful for getting us out of a funk, out of a negative headspace, and into a place where like we are now high frequency. And also because of owning that particular frequency of over 500, we have the capacity to affect at least 700 other people. Imagine what this does for you in your community. Imagine what this does for your business. Imagine what this does when you're looking for relationship, friendship, etc. It tears a barrier down that they have. Beauty and art are the universal language. This is why 40 people can stand in the Louvre and have a difference in age demographic, different language barriers, like completely different races, like they're from completely different income brackets, and still everyone is congregated together looking at the same piece of art. This is the effect that you have on people when you tap into this frequency. A wider range of who you are attracting and affecting. It is such an unknown power. It is not a routine. It should not be for performance for other people. It should be for your frequency first, so that you feel amazing. Your self-worth rises. Your enjoyment rises. Your happiness rises. Your appreciation rises. And you carry that with you throughout the entire day. And the side effect is you opened a freaking door to more cash, love, and emotional currency like laughter, connection to the divine. Have you ever heard beauty described that way? There's not many people in the market who are teaching this. But for me, this is the framework for women to come in and learn beauty rituals. This is no longer for proving ourselves to anyone. This is about emotional currency. This is about saying yes to adornment, saying yes to beauty, yes to art, yes to creativity, yes to luxury experiences. And the side effect is cash, connection, divinity, laughter, love. When you can approach makeup artistry that way and learning about beauty and adorning your body that way, game over. It's like you're turning a magnet on. And this is the feeling behind Elite Turbo Glam. This is the feeling behind why I love people going through Confidence on Command. After this is done, I'm going to share some before and afters of a couple of my favorite clients, which is really fun for me. I think later on this week, I'm going to drop in here because I'll leave the replay up for a little while. If you have a friend that you're like wanting to see this right now, to have a reframe around what beauty even is. I'm going to share some of our current roster. There's a few babes that just are completing a 30-day cycle inside of Elite Turbo Glam, a 30-day full immersion experience that, you know, they were like, I would never usually do this, but I'm okay to do it. Like, here's my before and after. It's so remarkable, like the confidence building that's happening there. But this is the thought process, the framework. It's a very feminine-led container where women come in and get empowered in their beauty rituals. And for those of you who this is a different framework around beauty, and somehow this actually makes sense to you, when doing makeup to prove yourself to other people just doesn't land, or putting makeup on to fix yourself, to like show that you're important. If that doesn't land for you, I fully understand. Like the whole social science experiment that, I mean, if you really studied it, it could just make you feel like worthless garbage, because you're like, oh, so basically what you're saying is if I don't look pretty, then I don't get anything in the world. Like, that's fucked up. Yeah, that is fucked up. But that's not what I'm teaching. That's not the framework of where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is tap into beauty as an art, a luxury, an experience for you first, a portal to power, and open up the door to the life of your dreams. That's the feminine-led beauty movement, feminine energy-led beauty movement, the full, like very empowered beauty movement, not forcing things to happen, inviting your world to change through beauty rituals and experiences. Luxury, high vibe experiences. So if this is a different framework for you to think about beauty, I would love to invite you and invite myself into your world. I want to invite myself to be on camera inside of your everyday experience from now to the end of the year. Because while, yes, my maternity leave is going to start, there are two things that are staying open. Our beauty brand will continue to have what we call full immersion beauty experiences from now through the end of the year. It looks like either Confidence on Command, which is a 2-day intensive, and it's fully virtual. You'll still experience our staff working with you, but it's a 2-day full-blown experience where you go from potentially, there's people who have come in and who've never really done makeup before. And by the end of day 2, they are fully capable of doing their makeup for a photo shoot. They can do their own makeup, the contour, the highlight, the smoky eye, the lashes, the brows, lip, everything by day 2. It is what I paid $20,000 to learn how to do the makeup artist to the stars, you know, and it's power packed inside of a 2-day experience that comes with a whole lot of cosmetics and skincare and our team supporting you throughout the process. Like, that experience is available to you. It's called Confidence on Command. That's one thing that we will still offer through the whole end of the year. The second component to our beauty brand is called Elite Turbo Glam. And all of our Confidence on Command clients also get access to Elite Turbo Glam. And also Elite Turbo Glam is its own offer. It's $555 to join. It is a high-level community of women who are awesome to each other. Encouraging, empowering. You go from being complete strangers with these women to them like complimenting you and being like, girl, you look amazing. What are you doing today? Like, you get to know women inside that group. Elite Turbo Glam currently houses something around the ballpark of 50 micro tutorials that we intend for women to come in and devour. They're typically around 10 minutes each. And our way of walking women through this journey is that we offer 4-week full immersion experiences, and they take you from the basics of cosmetic artistry. Okay. You learn the very basics the first week. Week 2, you learn highlight and contour. You learn all these things about the different tools that you have on hand. And then you learn all the eye looks, how to use all different color palettes, eye spacing, things like putting on eyelashes, filling in your brows, like how to get a very natural finish versus a full coverage finish, all these different things. And the intent is that by the end of like a 4-week or a 30-day experience with myself, our team, and all the educational support, plus the products to match it, like luxury products, our goal is that women are so empowered in their beauty rituals that on a skill level, thank you, Michelle Hamady. Michelle said your group made me feel welcome on day 1, and that meant a lot to me. Thank you. Our whole intent with this group is that in this community, in this container, is that women come into the experience, and that when they do this full immersion experience by day 30, that they can style their own self for a full-blown photo shoot if they wanted to. They know how to do their makeup for camera if that's their desire. They know how to do their makeup for everyday life. They have, in my opinion, a better skill set than most people who work at a makeup counter inside 4 weeks. That's what I want people to have. Or inside 2 days, if they do Confidence on Command. I would stack up our graduates against any makeup counter worker and be like, yeah, let's have let's have a glam off. Like, let's see who can do it. That's the level that we're playing on inside of this community. But we're not doing it out of a space of competition. We're doing it out of high frequency, luxury, self-love, let's change the world, power portal vibes. Now, the dope thing about Elite Turbo Glam and Confidence on Command, those two beauty offers that we have, is that when you make your purchase to get your spot for either one of these programs, you have access to Elite Turbo Glam until the end of 2021. Which means if you came in on the last round, like Michelle Hamady, or Adrienne, who was just commenting like how things have shifted and changed for her. If you came in on the last round, the really interesting thing is that we're going to have about a 2-week like hiatus in between with bonus videos. And then you get the opportunity to jump into the next 4-week full immersion and get even more support and even more practice. And you can do this as many times as you want to until the end of the year. That's the nature of the membership. You have access to the community, access to our team, access to like continue to develop your artistic hand and it becomes like an intuitive craft after a while. And you have access to that, access to 5% off site wide, access, you get first access to our pop launches. So, like, spoiler alert, when we had baby Sloan, we did a full collection that was around her name. And we have our collection coming for the new baby. So, we order typically like 50 of a collection, the first run. And there's 47 people inside of Elite Turbo Glam. So there's a very high chance. And those people buy multiples because some of them buy them for their friends or their daughters or their families. So there's a very big chance that the launch that we're about to do, this happens for us a lot. This has been happening for us for years, but there's a very big chance that the launch that's coming up, that's, like in honor of our new baby, an eyeshadow palette, lip colors, like very real chance that will never see the public. Because Elite Turbo Glam gets first access to it and they typically sell out. So things that happen inside of Elite Turbo Glam are obviously skill stacking, going from skill to art, women raising their frequency, making more money, having better sex, like having more confidence, their business is getting like more and more like clicks and exposure, like women really transforming from the inside out. It's like they are bringing like the goddess forward in real life, high frequency. Okay, so they're getting all the video tutorials, 5% off site-wide, first access to pop launches, brand new, every single month we do a brand new tutorial. They have that from now to the end of the year, and that's part of being in Elite Turbo Glam. Lisa's like, yes to all the things. She's been in there. Lisa McCorkle, my girl. So all of that is available, and also when people join Elite Turbo Glam, you get some really yummy perks. So obviously we're talking about beauty rituals, and like it's fun to have community and support and tutorials, but like, girl, you need some toys. So when people sign up for this particular community, we ship out to you the 6-color contour palette that I developed. It's the top 6 colors that I take on a photo shoot. It was the top 6 colors that universally I used on every age demographic and every nationality, like across the board, every celebrity, everyone. I used the same 6 colors to legitimately sculpt their face. So that gets shipped to you when you join. As well as like how you go and paint if you have some crappy Walmart brushes. This is my question to you. So we send out also the makeup artist level. They're called the Expert Series makeup brushes. You get those sent in a bundle and another tool for crafting your look. Lisa McCorkle says the contour palette was my favorite. Like that is, I did this whole look today with what's called Essentials Bundle and contour palette and a set of lashes, baby. So this is all contour palette. My eye makeup is the contour palette. My eyebrows are the contour palette. Like, like my contour on my face, my nose contour, my highlight, above the lip highlight, all of this is contour palette. It's a single palette that you can use for your entire makeup look. It's so bomb. So that just, we gift that to you when you join Elite Turbo Glam. And note to previous clients who are like running out of your contour palette, like this would be an excellent experience for you to get a fresh one sent to you and regain access to community and all the tutorials. I'm just saying, if you're a previous client and you want to come back in and play, like you're welcome to. Come on. It's a lot different than it was a couple of years ago. So these are all pieces of, for me, an indispensable place in the beauty ritual. in the power portal, opening up my life to more power, opening my life to more luxury, more love, higher frequency experiences, self-worth, knowing my value, unquestionably feeling confident in any room. And this is the vibe that I want to share with women. This is my mission. These containers will stay open. I'll still be checking into them. You know, there's going to be a lot of time of mama with the baby on the boob, looking at my clients and talking to them. And this is one place that I'm staying connected throughout my maternity leave, because I will still be connecting with my makeup clients. That is available. As is the Trove, if you're someone who wants to really explore, architecting your visibility online for your own brand. That is also available during my maternity leave. And I will be live for 2 calls a month with our private clients that are inside the Trove, even during maternity leave, because I love it. I could talk about it until the end of time, helping women to architect their brands and doing like the tech pieces of it and the beauty pieces of it, and running private groups and launching, programs and classes. Like, I could talk about that forever. So easy. It's hard for me not to talk about it when I'm with my friends. Like walking in the woods this morning, I'm talking to my doctor about her brand. Like, it's so hard for me not to talk about it. I'm so passionate about women getting visible online and making money. Like, it obsesses me. So the Trove is also available. It's a little bit more like a higher ticket offer. I think it's like $3,000 something a month to be part of that, but I'm committed to that. So these are the 2 places that I'm going to be hanging out during my maternity leave. Is I will still be checking in with Elite Turbo Glam, because I'm passionate about it. I love helping women really architect their visibility and increase their frequency and their power through beauty rituals and luxury. Is my vibe. The second place I'm going to be hanging out, even during my maternity leave, is the Trove, because it's 2 calls a month and it's easy for me, but they get their whole library and me as a bonus. If any of that appeals to you, you can write a note in the comments. Oh my gosh, thank you, Lisa. Lisa's in the Trove right now. She said it's worth every penny, the Trove. Mwah. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. I'm so happy that you're in it. Really happy that you're in it. Yeah. If any of that appeals to you, you can feel free to message me, myself or my team. Check our messenger all the time, like every day. So if you need links or anything like that, have questions, let me know. I'm going to leave this particular group open for probably a good week or so for replays and things, because people are still asking about it and people are just getting added still today. So we'll leave this up for a bit for replays. If you got a girlfriend or someone that you think would be interested in this type of a way of thinking about beauty, or they have like some blocks around makeup artistry or whatever, feel free to share. It would mean the world. And I want to say this because it has been on my mind to say it. And I didn't say it yesterday fully the way that I wanted to. And it's this. There are people who have come into like my world and learned beauty. They learned how to do, the full everything, the full contour, highlight, smoky eyelashes and stuff. And they literally did it for a month or 2 months or something. And then they would say to me, like, I can't handle this level of attention. Like, it almost works too well. I can't handle the level of magnetism. Can't handle the attention, can't handle being the center of it. It's triggering old stuff in me. And I want to acknowledge the people who feel that way. And I want to invite you to step into your power. The big question that women have, and even I have people in my life who have purchased things like Confidence on Command, and they have like $500 worth of makeup sitting there and a program to tap into, and something in them stops them from tapping into it and pressing play because they don't know for sure, even though every cell in their body is calling them to go to the next level. And they know that this is the piece that is their next level move. The knowing that this is the thing that is going to take them to the next level terrifies them so much because they're like, I don't know if I can hold this level of power, that they scale back and they go back to what's comfortable. Sharon is like, girl, you read them on mail. I'm going to say it, self-sabotage what could be. Out of the fear of whether they can hold it or not. I want to affirm to you, women are superheroes. We operate at a level of expansion that is so enormous. Think about the fact that we have babies. Think about the fact that we unconsciously can create an entire skeleton, neurological system, set of lungs, set of eyes, fingers, toes, eyebrow hairs. We can do that without even thinking. We expand. We physically and emotionally expand for a whole other human. You can do this with your energy, with your intention, with your business, with your capacity to hold power. If you've been pregnant before and you've experienced the stretch, it's not always cozy. But I want to affirm to you, you are capable of this. You were made for this expansion. You were made for this. You are made to be seen. You were made to make magic money, boo. I believe that so wholeheartedly. The dream life that's inside of you didn't get put there because it wasn't supposed to happen. The life of your dreams has been put in your heart because it's supposed to happen for you. Get out of your own fucking way. Pardon my language. Stop holding yourself back by staying less visible than you already are. A lot of you are already relatively magnetic without intentionally opening the portal, or you're accidentally opening the portal here and there, and then you wonder why some days you feel off and some days you don't feel the magic, and like, have you lost your spark, and nobody watched my video, and how come sometimes people respond to my stuff and sometimes they don't, and like, am I ever going to make it? And you go up and down with your energy because you're being really absent-minded with this portal. It's very hit or miss for you. The intentional opening of the portal is not a daily ritual. This is why I like the word ritual, that routine, because it's flipping magic. And you're absent-minded and you're hit or miss, and some days you do it, some days you don't. Sometimes you're good to yourself, sometimes you aren't. Sometimes you say yes to other people instead of you. Sometimes you get a little selfish and you say yes to myself. And you still think of it as being selfish. And I want to say to you, as long as you are up and down in your energy like this, the business is up and down with the energy like this. The magnetism in relationships, whether you have a business or not, is going to be up and down with energy like this. If you are like that with yourself. If sometimes you believe that you're worth it and you're nice to you, and other times you're like, I can do stuff for other people today. And you live a whole day not even cherishing yourself or adorning yourself, and other people are affected by that. If this is a place in your life where you seriously know that if you were more intentional and you invited that door open every day, that magic and miracles would happen, and you're a little bit scared of whether you can hold that or not, I affirm to you today, you were made for it. Women are made to expand in ways that men are not. Dare I say, I think women are better in business than men because we're made for it. Men make logical money. Men trade time for money, mostly, unless they've tapped into their feminine energy. But for the most part, men are rational about cash, and they trade time for money because that's what their logical brain can figure out. If I work this many hours, or if I put out this amount of work, this will happen for me. And women in business are fucking magic. We legitimately can expand faster and differently than men. The amount of money that comes into our household, I am 10x my husband, and we're cool with it. And we've done a lot of work to be cool with it. But women can expand and literally pull in and magnetize cash, connections, relationships, like happiness, humor, laughter, own a room faster and more expansively with their energy than men can typically. This is a gift that we have. So if there's a doubt inside of you and you're going like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle the attention or the expansion or being like in that level of growth, I am so here for it, and I'm here to support you if this is like a hang up of yours. If in the last 3 days you have been able to get past what previous programming has been around beauty for you, and it's now become interesting, and you have made the mindset shifts to get out of the masculine sales paradigm around feeling like crap, and that's the reason why you wear cosmetics, and now you're seeing like, holy crap, there's this whole other world. And just what if this dream life that's inside of me around, every desire that I've ever wanted, what if that is intentionally for me? And I came here to experience this with all my 5 senses, and it's possible for me. And what if this is the door? I want to say to you that I'm here for it. If you know that luxury and saying yes to you is your next move, like effortlessly, yes, please come in the inbox, or let's get you the link to Elite Turbo Glam or Confidence on Command, or both. When you get Confidence on Command, you get the group as well. You get makeup with both, which is really fun. And also, if you're someone who's wanting to build business this year, we still have a half a year left. And there's so much more to it than just strategy. There's an emotional support component to this. The question, like, can I handle it if I do this strategy and the strategy works? And then, like, can I handle the power? The Trove membership is where you get that kind of support. For myself and my cousin coach, Katie Elliott, she's a phenomenal mindset and transformation, life transformation coach. She really handles emotions, worthiness, money mindset. She's phenomenal to work with. If any of you guys have worked with Katie, feel free to give her a shout out in here. But both of these places are open for you. And like, I am so here for this. And some of you, this has been a big reframe this week. From the spiritual stuff that I talked about to, reframing possibly being late for things because you know that like your frequency is more important and your happiness is more important and you're going to be a bigger magnet if you let somebody down sometimes. Wow, a breakthrough thought. I may be more magnetic if I let some people down sometimes. That is like twisted for some people's brains. But all of this is available to you. Our team is here to support you. This will be my last masterclass for a hot minute because I need to pop this baby out. It's going to be real fun. We're going to leave this open for you to watch the replays, but the Trove will be available to you. Myself and Katie will be available to you 2 calls a month with the Trove if you're someone who wants to build brand this year and you need the support for it and the strategy. And if you know that literally beauty rituals have had a stigma for you or a lack of confidence for you, and you're ready to address all of that in a highly supportive, elite environment, say yes to yourself, say yes to the luxury, say yes to the adornment, say yes to opening the portal to power, to the life of your dreams. Elite Turbo Glam is available for you, and I'm going to be hanging out in there. Same with Confidence on Command. Ladies, it is 5:25 p.m. 5:25 is my birthday, 5:25. I'm going to jump on a call with actually some of my Matrix sisters from earlier this year, another mastermind that I've been in. It's been such a pleasure. It's been such a pleasure to be with you these last couple of days. Thank you for having an open mind and an open heart. And I'm so grateful for all of you for helping me to have such a lovely week. Thank you to those of you who are already inside of Elite Turbo Glam or Confidence on Command or the Trove. It's my pleasure to work with you. I love you so much. And I want to be part of the story if you're not in those containers yet. I want to be a part of your story. Feel free to message our team. We're here for you. Sooner is better than later. Because whether you buy your membership this month or in 2 months, it still goes to the end of the year. You might as well get it right now. Oh, shit. And our next 30-day full immersion beauty experience, it starts on like the 16th. So if you purchase Confidence on Command right now or Elite Turbo Glam, all of your stuff will ship to you before our next 30-day full immersion experience inside of Elite Turbo Glam. So if this was like, I think I want to do it, now you know like today's your day. Just go check out. Our team will help you out. Don't forget to grab a meet your match while you're at it. All right. Love you guys. See you inside of the groups. Okay, bye.